Cindy, what are you doing? Cindy? Hi, Theo. Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I was just, I'm just trying to get to the part of the news that I read some yesterday, so so it shifted a little bit down. There we go. See, Nikki, what are you doing, you little crazy? Hi, Mark. Hi, everyone on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. If there is anyone, it's actually interesting because I feel like I don't get notified of the viewers on Twitter. Yet when I look at the views on Twitter, there are quite a few people watching, so I'm very confused. I'm incredibly confused as to how Twitter streaming works, but you know, it is what it is. Oh, what? Copyright claim. This video contains, as a result, has been blocked worldwide. What? 14 defenders come back home from captivity. Huh, so strange. I was gonna hang out on Twitter today. Hi, Sky. Hi, Candy. Hi, Mark. Okay, I still keep being notified of people's subscriptions expiring, but you know, it's strange that they notify me, not you. Hi, Daniel. Thank you for the corgi. They should make a French bulldog. Hi, Vandella. Hi, Jen. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Tammy. Hi, guys. Hi. Strange, but so my video about 14 Ukrainian defenders coming back home has been blocked in worldwide because it contains copyrighted material. Hi, Juju. Hi, kia ora. Which is strange because what copyrighted material would it be? I'll check it out later. It's so annoying how they like block it because there is copyrighted material. They don't tell you which copyrighted material, but the thing is that like you can edit the video and take out that piece. Hi, Joe. Hi, Praxis. Oh, I'm glad that you got a YouTube notification because I could just cut out that part of the material. Yeah, that's on YouTube. It's so strange. I don't quite get that. I feel like, you know, it could be easily solved by just cutting out that bit of information, but you know, YouTube, I see how you are. So yeah, Cindy over there, Cindy has been like in love with these blue and yellow bunnies. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Jammer. Hi, Joe. And hi, Jen on here too. Hi, Royam Slava. La Canaricana es su travesuras. Oh, so you changed your YouTube handle. I see. Hello. Hi, Randy. Hi, Veronica. Yeah, YouTube loves to give out strikes and warnings. Well, so this is not a strike or a warning. This is just a copyright claim. So basically, if someone claims copyright, it does not go as a strike or warning. It can be blocked off from certain places in the world. Or sometimes, like, half of my videos are blocked off in Russia. Half of my videos are unavailable to watch in Russia, which, like, I mean, sure, but, like, it's fine. I'm not too upset about it, you know? But, like, for copyrighted material, and hi. Hello. Also, the traveling lesbian, what is your name? So I feel like we are at the point where I would like to address you by name. But so just like everyone else, hi Gap, hi Nomad Cat. Yeah. Hi Nicole. Yes, I remember. I just love that you changed your thing. But yes, so Audrey. Okay. All right, Audrey. Right. Are you working now? What do you mean, Andrei? No, I mean, I'm doing a newscast right now. I commented on Twitter. Are you able to see it? No, it does not show me Twitter comments at all. For some reason. It says, can't post comments to some destination, learn more. It says, Twitter can't read comments and can't post comments for some reason. So I don't know what people are saying on Twitter. Audrey, right? We've gone through it. Sorry, my memory is awful sometimes, and I need repetition a couple of times, and then I get it right. Russians fear Yulia changing hearts and minds. I mean, hey, I'm not too upset about it. It's okay if my videos from YouTube are copyrighted in Russia and unavailable there. So yeah. So then, weird, I had to go out and come back in for my spy emotes to work. Oh no, that's so weird. Also, hi, Fatal Jester. How are you? See, this is like the thing when it notifies me about, it literally notifies me about people's subscriptions expiring when they come into the live. So in a certain way, it is like a notification of like, hello, they're there, but YouTube is very, not YouTube, TikTok is very pushy. Hi, Lucky Skill, and hi, Grumpy, Heroyam Slava. Yeah, TikTok has been super glitchy. Hi, Small Point. It is 8:16 p.m. here. So 8:16 in the evening, or 20:16 if we're looking at like Ukrainian time, as in like Ukrainian way of showing time. Hi, Michael. Thank you, Michael, for being here. Heroyam Slava, Grumpy again. And hi, Silver Knight. Thank you so much. Hi, Pong Siri. Wow. Hi, Pong. So yeah. So yeah, this is basically where I'm at. Oh my gosh. Hi, Garth. Hi, Julian. Hi, Montreal, or Montreal. Heroyam Slava. So yeah, so basically some of the videos, so copyrights are not 6 hours to Yulia's bedtime. Oh my God. Love the later live, easier for people who work during the day. Yeah, but at the same time, like this is not, this is not sustainable for me most of the time, but sustainable today because today the weather has been awful. Hi, Jillian. And also later lives mean that less Europeans are able to come on. And yeah, later lives means that less Ukrainian people are able to make it. And I love seeing Ukrainian people in my lives, and I love seeing European people in my lives. Twitch and chat only in my time. Also, James, yeah, if somebody comments something on Twitter, would you let me know so I'm able to respond to them? Thank you very much. Since we're all saying hello, hi, Justin. Yeah, hi, everyone. I love saying hello. And yeah, so basically on YouTube, copyright claims are not strikes and are not warnings. Copyright claims are just basically your video might not be available in some countries. Hi, Siroga. So that's all it is. And this one is blocked in all countries for some reason. Thank you for the rose. And yeah. And so that's kind of like how it is. And I'm very upset that this was blocked in all countries. Thank you so much, Silver Knight. I'm upset that it was blocked in all countries because, well, I could just take out the part of if they let me know what is the copyrighted material that was blocked in all countries, I would literally just cut it out and then return the video. I think it's an important video, and it's about exchanging 14. I think like there is a lot of very, very useful information in there. So it kind of bugs me, but it's okay. I can just look into what could have been copyrighted there, and I can just cut it and I can re-upload it. So that's probably what we're gonna do anyway. And yeah, that's what I think we're gonna do. Oh wow, so there is much more. You're grumpy, James. Okay, all right. I definitely watch the early during work occasionally. The horses don't seem to mind. Aww. The horses don't seem to mind. I love that. Arvosis has a tip tab on his profile. He says he gets 100% proceeds. I don't see that on yours. I don't have a tip tab on my profile because I need to have 100,000 followers in order to be able to have a tip tab. There is a lot of functionality of TikTok that one doesn't have if they have under 100K. Arvosis just has a larger following and therefore has a couple more functions to his TikTok than I do. probably one of the videos that you show during your live. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Hi, Alosha. Is it Alosha or is it Alyosha? Also, hi, Candy. Good to see you. So good to see you. I have a few unwarranted copyright claims. Also, basically, for it. Speaking of YouTube, speaking of TikTok subscriptions, TikTok takes about 40% of subscriptions, which is much. Arvosis does not have 59K. Arvosis has over 100. Arvosis has over 100. I'll tell. Arvosis has much more subscribers than I do.
He's just straight.
Here. Arvosis has 479,000. So he's almost at 500,000 subscribers. So yeah, he has much more functionality than I do. Alicia. Because it says Alosha. Oh, Alicia. Okay, I see. I'm so sorry. Hi from your neighbor in Romania. Hi, Romania. I'm sorry, your thing says Alosha, so it's like, you know, I just I want to make sure. There's so many different ways. There's so many different ways of spelling different things, and sometimes they're read in a different way, and I just don't want to be that one person who just sort of like, you know, who just calls you by the wrong name just because I assumed, you know. Alosha, gotcha. Okay. Alosha, gotcha. Okay, good. Good day from Australia. Hi, and also, which platforms am I streaming at right currently? It's TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Hi, Evan, and hi, Lauren. Hi. I do Patreon. I'm assuming their fees are lower than TikTok. Yes, Patreon's fees are much lower than TikTok too. I think Patreon takes like 20%, although this month around, Patreon kind of screwed me over really badly. And they were kind of like deceiving in some sort of a situation. Thank you so much. But it doesn't matter. But I was saying to those who hi, Smithea. Thank you for following. To those who are subscribed here, TikTok takes way less commission than it does from other places. And someone just subscribed, I think, so welcome to the Spy Lair. And do you have merchandise? I do. I have a website. It's Yewleea.com. But if you want to buy merchandise, there is merchandise on there already. However, we are going to revamp the website, and the new website is going to come out in about 2 weeks. And there is going to be new and exciting merchandise, and we're going to do like different things with different artists, probably every like season or so. So if you wanted merch, there is that old Spy logo merch there right now, and all of it is going to get revamped, and it's going to be the new Spy logo merch, and there is going to be some cine merch, and whatever it is that Nastya, who is our mod and resident graphic designer, wants to do with the merch. She has all of the free reign over it because it's going to be a new collection, and it's going to be done by Nastya. So yeah, and yeah, the Patreon merch actually just shipped out. So let's do battle with the trolls. Hi, Crazy Cat. Hi, Crazy Cat. Also, Evan here says on Twitch, Yulia, is Taras Shevchenko more based than Vladimir Lenin? Well, Vladimir Lenin is a dictator who created the Soviet Union. Not Cine Merch. Yes, Cine Merch. And hi, Christina. So Twitter chat only stays visible for like 3 seconds. Oh, I see. Okay. So is Taras Shevchenko more based than Vladimir Lenin? Vladimir Lenin is a dictator who terrorized the nations in the Soviet Union. Taras Shevchenko is a Ukrainian poet who was a slave, who figured out how to have someone buy him out of slavery, and who wrote about free Ukraine, and who wrote about Ukrainians standing up for their freedom. So I'll let you decide on that one. My stepbrother has an apparel factory in Pakistan. Maybe supply some merch for you. Oh my gosh, wait, that's a really great idea. If you can write to me, on Instagram, I would love to talk about it. Right now, the thing is, I can't do large large merchandise supplies. So I do per order basically. So that's how we do it. So it takes a little longer to ship, but it's more sustainable right now. But if it ever gets bigger, then that's a great idea. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Sasha. Oh my gosh, so many people here today. So good to see all of you. Okay, so see, the evening lives do have some benefits to them. I feel like Sasha makes it on evening lives, and that's that's it. That is a that's one of the advantages, at least for me. So yeah, hi Sasha, good to see you. Okay, so without further ado, how are you guys? And then let's jump into the news for the day. Thoughts on Tsarist Russia? Do you think it would be better if the Tsar remained rather than the USSR? No. I think that the USSR is basically just another Tsar, but instead of it being like a bloodline succession of power, it's just a succession of power based on your like connections. And no, I think all of them were equally as horrible. The Tsarist Russia did a lot of horrible stuff as well. Let's talk about Yekaterina, who murdered Cossacks. Let's talk about Peter, who stole Ukrainian history. There has been a lot of really, really, really terrible stuff going on in Tsarist Russia. So no, I think Russia has always been the same thing, and it's always been a ruler that Russian people absolutely like bow to, and him doing horrendous stuff and the Russian people just basically going by with that horrendous stuff because like, oh, Russia is a superior nation. Hi Zero, hi Kathleen, thank you Amanda, good to see you. Well, Kyiv, yeah. Okay, well, I guess here's the thing. We're going to do a Kyiv and Rus history live with my historian. Is your pup stuck in a neck pillow? She's not stuck in a neck pillow. She is a neck pillow for a reason. Yeah, she's not Catherine the Great. I call her Catherine the Second, and yeah, I would never call her Catherine the Great. She's only great for the Russians because they have this idea of her as this like revolutionizing, leader and revolutionary leader, and she is just another Russian ruler who had stolen history and murdered everybody on their way. The donut. Well, so no, Cindy destroyed her donut and now she has a neck pillow, like a literal airplane neck pillow. I'm also very curious as to where Cindy is. Sina, where'd you go? Hey, Sin. She doesn't really fit places with her neck pillow and I can't see her. Yeah, she was like, she's a little too smart for her own good and too smart for my own bad. I mean, so in the during the night, Cindy wanted to take off her donut, and so what she did is she just stuck her head under the bed, under like the bed frame, hucked the donut behind the bed frame, and like pulled her head out, and the donut quite literally exploded. So it's now deflated. She's taken it off and she's hiding. Oh, has she taken off the neck pillow? Did you guys see that? Was that a thing that I missed? Sadie. Well, she's not like scratching herself at least. Незалежно від того, з яким можемо просто провести їх усіх до Росії. Я би хотіла цього. It happened to another streamer I watched. It turned out the person who submitted the copyright claim didn't even own the material, and there was also no copyright. It was cleared up in 2 days. You know what? I'm going to submit an appeal to that then. I'm going to submit an appeal. I had a dog nicknamed Houdini. Take a guess why? Oh my gosh, I can only imagine. That's the thing. Dogs are such smart creatures. And that's what I was like talking about. You know, we teach them tricks and we teach them things to do, and then we regret it because they're a little too smart and they do them a little too well. Thank you, Silver Knight. So yeah. Okay, well, without any further ado, let's dive into the news today. The Large Hadron Collider may stop due to the energy crisis, according to the Wall Street Journal. Hi, Yum. Oh my gosh, hello, and hi, Truthful. Gosh, Yum, it's been so long. Good to see you. And hi, Truthful. Good to see you too. The European Organization for Nuclear Research is developing plans to turn off some of its particle accelerations during periods of peak demand, said Serge Claude, chairman of the Center's Commission of Energy Management. CERN is also considering shutting down the Large Hadron Collider, located on the border of France and Switzerland. The collider is one of the largest consumers of electricity in France. At its peak, it consumes almost 200 megawatts of electricity, a third more than the neighboring city of Geneva. Its sudden shutdown could take out $4.4 billion worth of equipment. The organization is discussing this scenario with electricity suppliers so that the need to reduce electricity consumption is communicated at least 24 hours in advance. Gazprom stated that the state of the last Nord Stream 1 engine, which failed, does not meet the industrial safety requirements of the Russian Federation. They have industrial safety requirements? That's news. I did not think Russia had safety requirements for anything, certainly not for children going to school with military equipment in the front yard, but there are safety requirements for the gas turbine? How strange. Hi, Natlin. Good to see you. It is emphasized that defects in the gas pipeline engine create a fire or explosion hazard and affect the safety of the entire compressor station. According to the company, the oil leak is a systematic defect in the Siemens engines used at Nord Stream. President of the European Parliament, Roberta Metsola, and head of the Office of the President of Ukraine, Andriy Yermak, called for support for the creation of an international tribunal for Russia's political leadership at the Russian war crimes exhibition, which is on display in Brussels. No, I just started the news, so you missed maybe like one or two things. Not a lot at all. Okay, so this video I watched yesterday, and I love it. It is, hi Jen. Russian military flee the shelling on stolen bicycles. The relevant video was shared in the Ukrainian Come Back Alive Foundation. Thank you, Truthful. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you, Jen. You guys are very sweet. Lucky skill. Oleg, a military man, is holding a puppy in his arms, which he has not yet thought of a name for, but has already decided to take to his home in the Zhytomyr region. I have 3 of them at home. The 4th will also have a place, says Oleg. Donetsk region, August 2022. This is what that looks like. Look at that little one. Look at the little one. Hi, Gabby. Look at the little one. Oh, he has 3 of them at home. And he took the 4th one. I think it's so cute. Oh my gosh. Good evening, Lady Bubbly. I think it's so adorable. Right? So adorable. Gas prices in Europe increased by 30% at the opening of trading amid the shutdown of Nord Stream 1. Gas prices in Europe exceeded $2,800 per 1,000 cubic meters at the opening of trading on Monday, showing an increase of more than 30%. That is also what devalued the euro, and the euro is now less than $1 for the first time since 2002, I believe. Olena Shevtsova, an advisor to the command of the Ukrainian ground forces, showed an ultra-low passage of Ukrainian attack aircraft over a road in the east of the country. Hi, Delaney. Hi, Scooter. Hello, little lady. Good to see you both. His lives are usually over 7K viewers on TikTok. No, he has 700 viewers on TikTok these days. Not 7K. 7K would be like none of us would be able to comment during that, and he would need like twice the mods that he has. But yeah, John has a lot of subscribers. His lives were 7K when like at the peak of the informational interest in Ukraine. But now it's like stably 700, 800 people. Yeah, I hope so too. Audrey. Stand with Ukraine. This is a photo of a Ukrainian military man crossing a Ukrainian wheat field as it's burning up in the background. Well, actually, I reposted something on Twitter today that I thought was so incredibly hilarious. And the original tweet was actually deleted, which I don't know why. Maybe someone like complained about it and maybe it was like censored or something like that. But so here is an interesting thing. Here is an interesting thing. I'm going to read you the tweet because I translated it. I thought it was like the funniest thing. Hi, Ken. I thought it was like the funniest thing ever. And I will... Here, don't be like Gorbachev, who died and surprised everyone with having been alive this whole time. Be like Stepan Bandera, dead for 60 years, yet Russians still shit their pants from the name alone. I thought it was so funny because it's so true. It's so true. Like, Russians get surprised that Bandera died 60 years ago. And I'm just like, yes, honeys, he doesn't exist. He doesn't exist anymore. You can go find his grave in Germany. I thought it was so funny. I thought it was like a hilarious little tribute. Like, don't be like Gorbachev, you were alive this whole time and people are surprised when you died because they thought you were already dead. Be like Bandera, where you've been dead for 60 years and people are surprised that you are not here anymore. I thought it was so funny. Yeah, I thought they were still looking for him, and it's like you can't even find him in Ukraine. His grave is in Germany. Anyways, the occupation authorities in Donetsk forcefully discharged sick men from hospitals to mobilize them. General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Men of conscription age with various diseases or injuries, including those wounded during hostilities who are undergoing treatment, are subject to such discharges. Konstantinivka, photo by David Guttenfelder. Here is what the photo is like. This is a kid standing in front of what appears to be his house that's completely ruined, or his apartment building that is now completely ruined. Hi, Dennis Lucky. And I think that's a very, very, very impressive photo that captures a lot of emotion. It's like, very little words that say a lot. I think this one photo says a lot. Now there is a photo of a woman next to the body of her mother who was unalived in a recent shelling in Donetsk on September 2nd. And here is what that unfortunately looks like. Anthem of Ukraine in the center of Berlin. In Germany, in honor of the visit of Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal, the orchestra solemnly performed the Ukrainian national anthem. Oh, gotcha. Good to put these things together. Thank you for letting me know. Vielen Dank, Deutschland. Українці усміхнеться доля. Наші вороженькі, як роса на сонці, запомнимо ми, браття, у своїй сторонці. Obviously, they do it better than I ever would. Also, that was a terrible, terrible singing. I was not prepared, but you know. Anyways, Angry Birds, new level. You know, the iPhone game. Russia purposely destroys schools. An independent report that shows us in the example of Kharkiv was published. The map shows all strikes on Kharkiv until August. Strikes in schools and right next to them are highlighted. A significant part of these attacks cannot be explained other than the targeted destruction of schools, especially in the southern part of the city. Look at that. All of these strikes, these are all schools. All of these strikes are all on schools. Of course, Russia is destroying Ukrainian schools. Also, I want to bring something up, and you know what? To the hell with it if someone decides to create drama out of it or whatever. But there is this one thing that bothers me incredibly, incredibly much. And it is Russian creators and first of all, Ukrainian creators who support them somehow still. And second of all, it is people who feel bad for them. So there is a Russian creator that posted a video, and the video is talking about how Russian kids in Russian schools who are in middle school or elementary school are being brainwashed into thinking that the war is good and are being brainwashed into being patriotic, and how traumatizing that is for the young generation of Russian kids. I have a very hard time not wanting to go out on my rooftop and scream at the top of my lungs to the tone deafness and absolute just inability to understand how disgustingly unaware this is. First of all, it is not traumatizing for Russian children to be brainwashed into propaganda because, one, they don't know what is even happening. Two, the war is something super far remote for them that they literally do not know anything about it. It's kind of like reading about it in a book, okay? They live in a warm apartment in the city of St. Petersburg or Moscow or whatever, and they never knew anything different and never will know anything different because there is no war in their country. There is not even a semblance of war in their country. Not even a little smidgen of war in their country. These kids are fine. And the worst thing that happens to them is now they have a weekly lesson of propaganda. Now, what genuinely is incredibly traumatizing is Ukrainian kids in Mariupol, Zaporizhia, Kharkiv, Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, who study in schools where Russian military lives, who have to be brainwashed into loving Russia and Russian language, while there are the troops that quite literally annihilated their cities and essayed their mothers and destroyed their buildings, chilling out in the front yard. That is traumatizing. There are troops wearing Z swastikas, the same troops that these kids saw shooting from artillery tanks. And now they're supposed to feel safe in schools with those troops standing there. So I am very sorry, but when I see people commanding Russian creators, feeling bad for Russian creators, supporting their narratives of how bad it is, the things that are happening in Russia. Yeah, the things that are happening in Russia are not ideal, but they're safe. Propaganda in Russia is not ideal, but it's nothing new. It's not like mind-blowing that they would be doing that. They've been doing that all the time. Why is it mind-blowing that they have these lessons for kids? They have these lessons for Ukrainian kids. Why wouldn't they have that for Russian kids? But it is not traumatizing, nor is it something for you to sit there and feel bad for. These kids don't even know. They don't know the difference. Everything's fine. For them, the war is something they've heard about maybe from their parents. Like, oh no, the word denazification is traumatizing for them. You know for who the word denazification is traumatizing? For the kids who were denazified by that army that came in and is now living in their school. So I beg you, please, I'm not telling you what to do. But if you follow Russian creators and you go on those pages because you want to know more about Ukraine, you're not going to know more about Ukraine from Russian creators. If you're interested in Russia and life in Russia and Russians, that's why you should be following Russian creators then. But also, to be fair, I don't know why anyone would follow both Ukrainian news and Russian news and be interested in Russia. Because frankly, it doesn't really matter what happens in Russia. It's just going to keep getting more propagandish. It's just going to keep getting more restrictive, but we know this. This is not a surprise. We don't need a daily reminder of what Russia is doing. But what are Russians doing to stop it? Nothing. So nothing's going to happen. Here is the difference. Ukrainians are losing their lives every day to stop this from happening in their country, in our country. Russian people complain about how bad the propaganda is getting, then they don't do anything and leave the country. And then they also tell you things that are damaging narratives. Like the fact that it's traumatizing for Russian children to listen to propaganda about denazifying Ukraine. Well, how about Ukrainian children in Ukraine who are studying in schools with Russian military and listening to the same propaganda? How about that? Is that not damaging? Because I think that, in fact, is damaging. And I'm sorry, but talking about Russian kids having propaganda lessons in Russian schools and how damaging it is so incredibly tone deaf. So incredibly tone deaf. And complaining about all of that propaganda and complaining about how bad things are getting, while you are not doing anything to stop it and all you're doing is leaving your country is kind of counterproductive. Either do one and fight for it to change, or don't do it and leave. Because to me, it's attention-seeking behavior and it's working because all of you start feeling bad for poor Russians and poor Russian children. And they're not the victim here. They're the perpetrator. The Russian government presented a report on the impact of sanctions on the economy. Its authors predicted a recession until 2030. According to Bloomberg, on August 30th, the report, which had been in preparation for several months, was presented at a closed meeting of senior officials. The terrorist country turned to outright blackmail. Gazprom published a video called "And the Winter Will Be Big." In the video, the company breaks off the gas and shows how the ice age comes. I will show you that video in a second. This is Gazprom's blackmail of Europe and basically literally showing how without gas, ice age is going to come to Europe, but Russia is going to be fine. Well, but I also want to address another thing about Russian creators, because Russian creators want you to feel bad for them. You watching them, you giving them gifts, you giving them money is literally paying for Russians who don't want to do anything. Russians who want to do something talk to Russians in Russian. Why would Russians be talking? А я не знаю, воно само зникло. Це був якийсь глюк. Russians who talk to Western audiences don't talk to Western audiences to change anything, because how is it going to change anything within Russia or help Russia or Russians or, like change anything within the country? It's just going to make you feel bad for them, and it's going to make them look better in your eyes because look good Russian. And here is another example, and I'm gonna give you the same creator. That particular creator kept talking about how they don't want to live in Russia, how they used to live in a different country and they wished they lived in a different country, and how they don't want to live in Russia, how this entire time they have been trying to get the fuck out of Russia, right? And now it looks like they did, but they posted a very sappy video saying like, oh, where is my next home gonna be? And then posted a video of themselves from like, I don't know, when they were a teenager being like, oh, but I never wanted to move anywhere out of my city in Russia. They were talking about moving this whole time. They were talking about how much they didn't want to live in Russia for like years. They were talking about how they wish they could stay in that country where they lived before in Europe. And now suddenly when they're moving, it's supposed to be like a super like pity inflicting like video. It's manipulation. It's all manipulation of emotions, and all of them consistently keep making themselves look like victims. Like, you look at Ukrainian creators, you watch our videos, do we fucking seem like victims to you? Are we whining at any point? Or are we fighting? Do we look for pity from you guys? Have you seen a single Ukrainian creator who comes on here and tries to invoke pity for you, tries to make you feel bad for them? Have you ever noticed that Ukrainian creators are not here to ask for your pity? Have you noticed that we don't ask for pity? We don't ask for you to feel bad for us. We don't ask for you to to tell us how poor we are, how bad our situation is. We are here for action, and we try to do as much action as possible. And we bring you the news. We try to, give context to things that happen, but not a single time are we over here complaining. Not a single time are we over here asking for you to feel bad for us, are we? Now look at Russian creators and look at what they're doing consistently. They're consistently asking you to feel bad for them. To feel bad for poor little Russians who can't leave Russia because of sanctions. To feel bad for poor little Russians because they can't do this, they can't do that. To feel bad because no one understands them. To feel bad for this, to feel bad for that. It's like, stop playing the victim, because we are the motherfucking victim in this situation. And you know what we're not doing? Asking for fucking victimhood. And I'm sorry for screaming. I'm sorry for cursing so much. But it's incredible to me. It's like the real victim in this situation is the Ukrainian people. And somehow we, as a victim in this situation, are not even trying to seem like one. So why is it that every single Russian on TikTok is over there trying to victimize themselves? And people are falling for it. And people are consistently like, oh my God, poor you. Like, I'm so sad. I hope you're safe. Oh my God, I'm so happy you're safe. Safe from what? Are their houses being bombed? Are their mothers being assayed? Are their children being assayed? Are their kids going to school with military there? The same military that came to denazify them? Is half of their country in ruins? Are there soldiers dying on the front lines to protect their land? Do they not go to sleep because tomorrow the city of their parents might be bombed? Are they? What are they not safe from? This whole rhetoric of like, oh, they're not safe because they can't speak against their government. Otherwise, they're going to go to jail. Well, first of all, let me tell you something. In Russia, you can quite literally buy yourself out of jail if you murder someone. Like, you can pay money to the prosecutor, a lot of money, but you're not going to go to jail if you murdered someone if you have enough money. So you want to tell me that those people are arrested for like whatever 15 days, they can buy themselves out. And if they don't have money to buy themselves out, then do you see what the problem is? This is the system they created. And they're not safe. That's the whole point, that they live in this and they refuse to do anything about it. And then they complain about it. They complain about not being able to do anything about the government while literally not even trying to do anything about the government. So can we please stop saying that Russian people are not safe, because that's a blatant lie. That is a blatant lie. They are safe. They are fine. They're not in any imminent danger. And also, yes, overthrowing a dictator government is not going to come to you without consequences. Except Ukrainian people are willing to lay their lives for it and don't complain about it a single bit. We're dying on the front lines every day. And we're not complaining about dying, not even under our own regime, but their regime. They are here complaining every single day about being scared of doing something because they're going to go to jail. Well, how the hell did you think you were going to overthrow a regime? What, you thought you were just going to tell them to leave? And they were going to leave? Of course, in order for you to overthrow a dictator regime, there is going to have to be sacrifice. And it just depends. You either want to make that sacrifice for the future of your children, and you might get injured, and yes, you might die. But you're doing that for a brighter future, right? Or you don't complain then and you don't do anything, because it just depends on your priorities. And everyone is like, oh my God, but they can't do anything because they're going to be in jail. What do you mean? Well, then if they can't do anything and they're scared of jail, then stop pitying them because they don't want to do anything to change that. That's going to be like that forever. And in order to change that, and in order for them to be able to do something in the future without being jailed, this government for them needs to be overthrown. You can't overthrow a government without human sacrifice. We know. We Ukrainians know because we've done it. Thank you, Netlin. So it's like, stop it. Genuinely stop it. This is the last time I bring up this topic because it genuinely makes me want to cry. Like, I know that anytime I talk about this, I do come off very brutal and it doesn't really show my actual emotions. But when I see these Russian creators saying this stupid garbage, and when I see people, especially the same people that follow me, feel bad for them and write these comments in their comments and like feel sad and like blah, blah, especially when I see Ukrainians do so, I want to cry. I want to go out on my rooftop. I want to scream from my rooftop and I want to cry. Because they don't deserve a single ounce of your compassion. Even a single droplet of your compassion is not deserved here. And then these same creators write comments like someone's going to say something bad about Russia and they're like, well, Ukraine? They're not pro-Ukrainian. Their egos are too big to allow them to criticize their own country. And that's how they ended up here to begin with. But you know, instead of crying and instead of asking for pity and instead of doing that, what I do every day is I go on here and I keep talking about things that matter. And for someone to talk about brainwashing of Russian children in Russian schools the same week, the same day as information of military in Ukrainian schools came out is genuinely just disrespectful. It was the same day that news of Russian military in Ukrainian schools came out. The same day. Yeah, Russian kids being brainwashed is the important information here. Tone deaf. Tone deaf. Hi, Wisconsin. Okay, the terrorist country turned to outright blackmail. Gazprom published a video called "And the Winter Will Be Big." In the video, the company breaks off the gas and shows how the ice age comes. Well, so the soundtrack to this is "Winter is Gonna Be Big," and they're like basically making fun of Europe. No, this is a trailer of what is gonna happen to Europe. President Vladimir Putin approved a new foreign policy doctrine based on the concept of the Russian world to justify foreign intervention in support of the Russian-speaking population. Reuters. The 31-page humanitarian policy, published more than 6 months after the start of the war in Ukraine, states that the Russian Federation must protect, preserve, and promote the traditions and ideals of the Russian world. The Russian Federation provides support to its compatriots living abroad in exercising their rights, ensuring the protection of their interests, and preserving Russian cultural identity. The text says, According to the doctrine, Russian ties with the compatriots abroad allowed it to strengthen its image in the international arena as a democratic country striving to create a multipolar world. The new policy states that the Russian Federation should expand cooperation with the Slavic peoples, China and India, and further strengthen ties with the Middle East, Latin America, and Africa. Joe Biden intends to take all necessary steps to strengthen energy supply and reduce energy prices in the world, said White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, commenting on the decision of OPEC Plus to reduce the quota on oil production by 100,000 barrels per day in October. The head of the Ministry of the Foreign Affairs of the interim government of the Taliban movement is banned in the Russian Federation, assured Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov by phone that measures would be taken to investigate the terrorist attack near the Russian embassy in Kabul. The foreign ministers of the two countries agreed to strengthen bilateral cooperation in the fight against international terrorism. Russia is working together with the Taliban now. Taliban and Russia against international terrorism. Surrealism. Russia terminated the agreement with Japan on a simplified visit to South Koreans. The agreement that has been enforced since 1999 and allows Japanese citizens who lived in the disputed islands in the past and their family members to travel to the Koreans without visas, for example, to visit graves of their ancestors. The 1999 agreement applied to the islands of Kunashir, Iturup, and a number of other islands of the Lesser Kuril chain, which are part of the Sakhalin region of Russia. They became part of the USSR in 1946. Japan did not recognize their belonging to the USSR and then to Russia. Now Japanese people will need visas to visit the graves of their ancestors in the Kuril Islands. Hi, Maria Louise. As a result of the morning shelling of Kharkiv, a residential multi-story building in the central part of the Kyivsky district was damaged. Another shelling in Kharkiv. The UK to expand military support program, according to Sky News. The duration of training will be increased from 3 to 5 weeks. About 4,700 soldiers have already been trained, and the program could potentially cover tens of thousands of Ukrainian infantrymen. Former U.S. Ambassador to Russia, Michael McFaul, supported the introduction of visa restrictions for Russian citizens. Your emotional tweets on my feed about the violation of human rights of Russian tourists would carry a lot more weight with me if you expressed similar outrage about the violation of human rights of innocent Ukrainians being carried out every day by an invading Russian army. Thank you, Michael McFaul, honestly. India will weigh carefully whether to support the G7 proposal to cap Russian oil prices. Indian Oil and Gas Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said at Gastech 2022 in Milan. Europeans buy more in one day than we do in a quarter. I would be surprised if it were otherwise, but yes, we will buy in Russia. We will buy anywhere, Puri said. The minister noted that he does not have a moral conflict about buying Russian oil, but has a moral duty to consumers in India. Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin signed a decree on the creation in the Russian Federation of 2 armored repair plants of the Ministry of Defense. The deadline for putting the facilities into operation and emergency just 4 months. France will supply Germany with gas in exchange for electricity, said President Emmanuel Macron, according to Le Figaro. We will stand in solidarity with Germany on the gas plan if the winter is difficult and Germany needs help, Macron said at the end of the video conference meeting with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. Russia has lost 25,000 soldiers in Ukraine and has not achieved a single strategic goal, British Defense Secretary Ben Wallace speaking in the House of Commons. More than 25,000 Russian soldiers died to the day. If you include the dead, wounded, prisoners, and deserters, then this is more than 80,000, Wallace said. The Ministry of Defense of Ukraine estimates the number of dead Russians at almost 50,000 people. To boost morale and motivate the mobilized, Putin publicly praised the militants of the so-called DNR and LNR, according to the Institute for the Study of War. According to the president of Russia, the illegal armed groups organized by the Russian Federation on the temporarily occupied territory of Ukraine, which is of the 1st and 2nd Army Corps, fight better than the Russian regular military, and also hinted that he was dissatisfied with the work of the Russian Defense Ministry. According to the Institute for the Study of War analysts, in this way, Putin seeks to rhetorically increase his role in the war in order to increase recruitment and boost morale. German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier has apologized to the relatives of the Israeli athletes killed in the 1972 Munich Olympic bombing. The country will pay a total of 28 million euros to the relatives of the victims. It is reported by Deutsche Welle. The Embassy of Ukraine is already preparing the visit of Liz Truss to Kyiv. Ukrainian ambassador to the UK, Vadim Pristaiko, said that a call to President Zelensky and an agreement on a visit should be expected immediately after her official appointment. Ukrainian counteroffensive destroys Russian potential in the south, according to the Institute for the Study of War. Ukrainian fighters attacked concentrations of manpower and equipment, command posts, and logistics centers of the Russian Federation in the south, weakening the rare capabilities of their army. The Russian Foreign Ministry blacklisted 25 more people. Members of the U.S. Congress, high-ranking U.S. officials, representatives of business and expert circles, and actors Sean Penn and Ben Stiller. A minute to mourn their hot tours to Russia that all of these people were also waiting to take. It is very clear that obviously it's a large loss, and all of these high postulated American officials, and especially Ben Stiller, Sean Penn, who has been quite literally trying to get MiGs for Ukraine, and Ben Stiller, who was in Lviv, yes, they're going to be very upset that they won't be able to visit Russia anymore. Yeah. To solve the problem with the shortage of certain types of weapons, the Russian Federation is buying missiles and artillery from North Korea. This was reported by The Guardian and The New York Times, citing anonymous sources in American intelligence. I actually posted a couple of tweets about this from some experts. They're very, very interesting. Please go ahead and give them a read. Give them a reread. In the first half of 2022, 419,000 people left the Russian Federation. This is evidenced by the data of Rosstat. This is twice as much as in the same period last year, when 202,000 people left Russia. Former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson left the Downing Street and handed over his powers to current Prime Minister Liz Truss. It is reported by Sky News. Here's what that looked like. Hi, Nini Ria. Also, that is a horrendous outfit on Lady Johnson. You can see her bra and her underwear. Boja still needs a damn comb. Yeah, and she needs a damn slip dress underneath. Gosh, going out with a bang. I thought the same thing. I know, right? Like, slip dresses are a thing, lady. Another school in the Donetsk region was destroyed by the Russians, this time Kurakhivska Gymnasium number 2. Yesterday, late at night, the Russians launched a missile attack on the gymnasium. They destroyed one wing of the 4-story building and damaged nearby high-rise buildings. Fortunately, there were no casualties. Where are you from, Dan? Where are you from? Another transfer of the bodies of dead soldiers took place on the line of demarcation. Ukraine managed to return 25 fallen heroes that are now on their way back to their homeland to be properly buried with honors. The European Commission has approved a proposal to completely stop the visa facilitation agreement with Russia starting September 12th. Today, the Commission is proposing to fully suspend the EU's visa facilitation agreement with Russia. A country like Russia waging a war of aggression should not qualify for visa facilitation as long as it continues conducting its destructive foreign policy and military aggression towards Ukraine, demonstrating a complete disregard to the international rules-based order, the statement says. According to European Commissioner for Home Affairs Yewleea Johansson, the European Commission Johansson, the European Commission expects the EU Council to approve the decision this week. World War III. Well, yes. World War III has begun when Russia decided to blackmail Europe and do all of these horrifying things in Ukraine. Were you not notified by Putin about that? Guys, sometimes these, little Russian paid botsies that come to my stream, I'm quite curious. You keep saying World War III is like honey bunny. Does Putin not communicate well with you? Because it looks like you don't know the things we have known a long time ago. Did you think that was news? I'm sorry. What's happening? You didn't know that? I guess they don't pay you to be smart. They pay you to copy-paste. Anyways. The Schengen area is preparing for expansion. The Czech Republic, which holds the presidency of the Council of the European Union, invited the interior ministers of Bulgaria, Romania, and Croatia to visit Prague on September 13th, 2022, to resolve the issue of joining the three Balkan countries in the Schengen Agreement. Earlier, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said he supported the accession of Bulgaria, Croatia, and Romania to the Schengen area, adding that the three countries had met all the requirements to become full members of the Schengen area, suggesting that the EU close the issue. Hi, Robert. Hello. Thank you for following. Operational Command South. The armed forces of Ukraine took fire control of the crossings in the Kherson region and destroyed 35 Russian soldiers and 4 infantry fighting vehicles. The people of Ukraine were awarded the German M100 Media Award for defending freedom and sovereignty in the fight against the Russian invasion. The people of Ukraine have been The people of Ukraine have been resisting Russia's brutal invasion with stoic fortitude for months and defending their freedom and sovereignty in European soil. The M100 Advisory Board therefore decided to honor the people of Ukraine with this year's M100 Media Award, reads the statement. It is noted that on September 15th, boxer Vladimir Klitschko will receive the award on behalf of the Ukrainian people in Potsdam, Germany. No nation in the world has demonstrated the value of freedom and its fragile vulnerability as passionately as Ukraine in recent months. The country is fighting a heroic battle for its values, independence and freedom, and defends them day after day, hour after hour, under deadly fire. Added the M100 Advisory Board Chair, Potsdam's Lord Mayor Mike Schubert. Thank you so much, Robert. The IAEA released a report on the results of the mission in the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. The report says that there is an urgent need for interim measures to prevent a nuclear accident, which may occur due to military actions. Besides, there is a need for all parties to agree on the creation of a protective zone around the Zaporizhzhia NPP to avoid damage. The IAEA is ready to immediately start consultations leading to the urgent creation of such a nuclear safety zone. The agency also stated that the shelling of the plant and its surroundings must be stopped to maintain the physical integrity of the nuclear power plant. The recorded consequences of the shelling of the plant were made public. Rafael Rossi said that while... Sorry, I don't know what's going on with me right now. Rafael Rossi said that while past strikes have not yet caused a nuclear emergency, they pose a constant threat to nuclear safety. Hey, Russia, here is an easy answer. Get the F out. Exactly. The agency says that the personnel ensures the safety of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, but the presence of the military equipment and representatives of Rosatom puts pressure on them, and they are in difficult circumstances. Therefore, the IAEA recommends that all people and equipment that could affect the safety of the plant be removed from ZNPP. I am breathing. Also, Squirrel, could you check on the Nightbot on Streamlabs, because it seems like it's not triggering the other bot, and the quotes are still not working. I know it's the most annoying thing that anybody has ever had to deal with, but it is what it is. Liz Truss officially headed the British government. Queen Elizabeth II confirmed her in office and instructed her to form a government. The meeting took place in Scotland at the Balmoral Castle, and here is a photo from the event. Kharkiv Regional Military Administration. Another evacuation from the temporarily occupied territories took place. This time, 753 people, including 160. Oh, thank you so much, Netlin. Thank you. This time, 753 people, including 163 children, were evacuated from the occupation. In addition, among the evacuees were 9 people with disabilities. They're all safe now. Those who needed received medical and psychological assistance, said the head of the Regional Military Administration, Oleg Sinehubov. The Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine called on the EU to stop issuing visas to Russians and impose the 8th sanctions package. The Ukrainian parliament has called on the EU institutions and EU member states to stop issuing tourist visas to citizens of the Russian Federation, limit the granting of Schengen and national visas, and introduce the 8th package of sanctions against Russia. Members of parliament also called on the EU to impose tough sanctions against Rosatom and the entire Russian nuclear industry in response to nuclear blackmail, urgently take measures and force Russia to leave the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant and return it to Ukraine's control for the global safety. Reuters. The IAEA is unable to propose deoccupation of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant due to mandate limitations. The president of Energoatom, Petro Kotin, the incredible shrinking queen. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. She looks so small. The president of Energoatom, Petro Kotin, called the situation at the nuclear power plant very dangerous and unprecedented due to damage of the power transmission lines connecting the plant with the Ukrainian energy system. He also noted that the IAEA mission has a limited mandate at the Zaporizhzhia NPP, so it cannot demand that Russia deoccupy the plant. This is a peculiar situation. All the experts and the IAEA chief Grossi himself understand that. What is needed to be done is the deoccupation. Still, they can't directly propose this because of the limitation of the mandate, said Petro Kotin. Kotin emphasized that the creation of the permanent IAEA representative office at the ZNPP was the right step, but the root of the problem remains. Russian troops continue to control the plant. Thank you, Naniria. We need results from this mission. These results should resolve the whole situation. Deoccupation, if not, then we must have some kind of variable results, he said. Die Welt. Ukraine was offered 100 Leopard tanks, but Scholz opposed it. The German arms company Krauss Maffei Wegmann offered Ukraine to purchase 100 Leopard 2A7 tanks from it in April. The company has not applied to federal government for an export permit. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz rejected the request of the Prime Minister of Ukraine, Denis Shmyhal, to allow deliveries of these tanks. Good night, Dan. Also, Dan, where are you from? You said that, where were you from? Because you were saying your country, you were talking about your country. Thank you, Frankie. The absolute majority of Europeans are in favor of supporting Ukraine and reducing dependence on Russian gas. This is evidenced by the Eurobarometer Public Opinion Survey as of June-July 2022. This is evidenced by the absolute majority is in support of Ukraine in relation to the attack of the Russian Federation. Thank you, Naniria. Thanks, Robert. 78% support economic sanctions against Russian elites and businesses. 86 to 87 of respondents agree that EU countries need to invest more in renewable energy sources and reduce dependence on Russian gas. Russia's main short-term military and political goal in the war against Ukraine is likely to be an offensive in Donbass and the complete seizure of the Donetsk region, the UK Ministry of Defense. What Putin would do if he seized Donbass and what deadlines he set for his troops, covered in the video. So this is a video from Ukraine now, so you know what that means. Let me upload it to here so you can see it full screen. And on TikTok, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it a little less than full screen, but you're still gonna see it. But again, if you want to see the full thing, then please go over to Twitch, YouTube, or Twitter, and you guys know it's gonna be on the full thing. Let me just download and then send it to myself. You know that I really like Ukraine Now. I think that their video compilations are incredibly useful. I think they're so helpful, and I really like the way they do them. I'm a big fan, and you know this. Oh, let's do it this way because it's charging, but also it's fine now. So, okay. Give me 1 sec. You know, I gotta set everything up so everybody sees everything, so everyone's happy. So mirror your video. Good. And now let me do this. Share video file. Also, I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but so I posted it on my Instagram story. I thought it was the most brilliant invention of Russian propaganda to date. So Russian propaganda is now saying that American media and that American schools love pedophiles, and I will show you this because I mean, the level of just pure imagination that Russians have doesn't cease to amaze me. But you know. Oh, it expired. Okay, well, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. I can definitely find it. Here we go. Okay. So this says... Oh, okay. Let me... Jesus Christ. Okay, let me... I need to mirror the video here, and I need to mirror the video here so you guys can actually see it. And I'm going to try to do my best to, like, you know, to make it big, but I just, on my iPad, it's going to be worse. Here. В американском штате Техас учитель английского языка, выступающий за педофилию, инструктирует учеников не судить людей за то, что они хотят заниматься сексом с 5-летним ребенком. И предлагает старшеклассникам вместо термина педофил или растлитель детей называть таких выродков лицами, которых привлекают несовершеннолетние дети. Okay, so in American state of Texas, an English teacher who supports pedophilia is instructing students to not judge people for wanting to have sex with 5-year-old children. And they're proposing that high school students, instead of using the term pedophile or child molester, refer to such degenerates as individuals attracted to minors. And this is a literal Russian newscast. I mean, they are talking about Texas. So like, I guess like they found a state they found the state that they could like sort of try and pass it on as like reality. But at the same time, like, are you kidding me? This is real Russian news. And they're quite literally like, so Western world thinks that pedophilia is okay. And they put a clown as the presenter. They took footage of a clown and they were like, yes, this is a Texas teacher who's trying to refer to himself as an individual attracted to minors. Like, what? That is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. Anyways, IAEA, the situation in Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant is unprecedented. In the published report, the agency emphasized that it is vital to establish permanent IAEA presence at the ZNPP. The mission specialists will carry out detailed and continuous work to assess the physical damage to the plant facilities, determine the operability of the main and backup safety and security systems, as well as assess the working conditions of the personnel. Bloomberg, Russia will lose 6.6 billion annually if gas supplies to EU stop. The publication reported this, citing a secret report of the government of the Russian Federation. As of September 6th, 236 children in Ukraine were reported missing due to the war. 7,343 children were forcefully deported. 5,391 were found, and 55 were returned to Ukraine. Volodymyr Zelensky opened the session at the New York Stock Exchange, Ministry of Culture and Information Policy of Ukraine. Today, the president of Ukraine virtually rang the bell during the opening session of the New York Stock Exchange, inviting businesses around the world to invest in the future of Ukraine. To encourage interaction with potential investors, the Ukrainian government has launched a portal that presents hundreds of investment opportunities and highlights current and future projects to attract foreign direct investment. 3 People's Bayraktar drones arrived in Ukraine. Volunteer Serhiy Pritula. The drones were named Khalepa, Trouble, Kovinka, Stick, and Tryastia. Damn it. Each of the 3 boards has stickers with the words People's Bayraktar and drawings of a special embroidery ornament designed by a Lviv craftswoman. Background. At the end of June, Ukrainians donated 600 million hryvnias in 3 days for Bayraktar TB2 drones, the People's Bayraktar campaign. Shortly thereafter, Baykar Makina, the Turkish manufacturer, announced the transfer of 3 drones free of charge, and then we bought a satellite. But this is what the drones look like. General Staff. The armed forces of Ukraine destroyed the pontoon and ferry crossing of the Russian invaders, as well as 8 of their ammunition depots. 6 enemy control points, including the corps level, were also struck, or the court level. Ow! Hi, Scott on YouTube. Scholz explains why Germany did not send tanks to Ukraine. Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung. The Chancellor of Germany believes that his country is sufficiently helping Ukraine with weapons, and the decision to transfer one or another piece of equipment, according to him, takes place in coordination with allies. Hi, Carrie. We are doing what is necessary and right, but a certain division of labor makes sense. Germany can focus on air defense and artillery, he added. Here are some trophies that Ukrainian military found with Russians quite literally leaving and running away. NATO promises to supply Ukraine with winter uniforms for the military. Ukraine asked NATO for winter uniforms and tents for 200,000 soldiers of the armed forces of Ukraine in anticipation of cold weather. Several member countries of the alliance have already committed themselves to supply equipment, Spiegel reports. According to journalists, in July this year, Ukrainian Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov, in a letter to NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, called for the speedy transfer of winter clothes for the armed forces of Ukraine. In particular, we're talking about warm uniforms and winter shoes. The Polish crabs are going to war in Ukraine. Germany is playing a very interesting game. I'm not quite sure yet what game it is, but Germany has hella excuses. So we don't know what's going on there anymore, but there is something there. Larry the cat, who lives at the Prime Minister's main residence on Downing Street, also said she was dumped by Boris Johnson. Liz Truss has become the new Prime Minister of Great Britain. Oh no. Did he dump his cat? Seriously? What an ass. The tweet says, "Yes, I came out to check that he's gone. He has." You will never guess what equipment was once again found in the abandoned positions of the occupiers. For some reason, I feel like they would use this as a toilet and not even know what this does. I feel like it looks like they took the top off, just sort of to like, sit and use it as a toilet. It does not appear that they knew what this is about. The most beautiful protected lakes of academician Zaitsev dried up in the Odessa region. According to Ivan Rusev, ecologist of the Tuzlovsky Limana Reserve, one of the reasons for the drying up of lakes and estuaries is military operations, which do not allow resuming water exchange with the Black Sea. This is Odessa region. Before the invasion, after the invasion. And to close off this news season today, what I want to say, дякую. Irusik, дякую. What I want to say to close off the news today, because that's the last update that I had, is that Ukrainian forces have taken back the city of Balaklia, the village of Balaklia. Now, Balaklia is in Kharkiv region. Kharkiv region is northeastern Ukraine. The offensive was going on in the east and in the south. Now, yesterday, American high postulated officials came out and said that the Ukrainian counteroffensive is going to be small because Ukraine does not have neither the weapons nor the men to conduct a large-scale counteroffensive. And the next day, Ukraine breaks through the front line of the northeast of Ukraine, where the counteroffensive was not even scheduled. And there have been multiple reports confirming that Balaklia, in fact, has been taken back by the Ukrainian armed forces. Thank you, Diane. And to say more, a friend of one of the creators in my creator group chat quite literally lives there and says, yes, that is true. The armed forces of Ukraine are there. And this is something that brings me to the point. Americans are playing into Ukraine. I think that at this point, Americans are strategically saying things like, oh, Ukraine is not going to do this. Oh, Ukraine is not going to do that. Oh, Ukraine's going to do this. Oh, Ukraine is going to do that in order to throw Russia off. Because who, if not Americans, know exactly what kind of weapons and abilities Ukraine has, provided that the American army and the Ukrainian army at this point are working very close together and they're training each other. So this is a very, very, very large slap in the face to Russia, because at this point, the United States quite literally does not give a single F as to what Russia is going to think. Heroyam Slava. Because yesterday they were like, oh yeah, it's going to be a very slow operation. Ukraine does not have the men. Ukraine does not have the weapons. And then today, boom, Northeastern counteroffensive. The US is playing a very smart game, and the US is specifically deceiving with the information that we're giving out. Yeah, I think it's done very strategically, and now Russia is not going to know what is truth and what isn't. And I think it's done specifically for that reason. So Russians can prepare. But Russian bloggers and media outlets today were quite literally posting and like, oh my gosh, because Russian soldiers in those regions were not expecting any action, and they're quite literally actually pooping their pants, and they're being destroyed. Thank you, Carrie. Oh yeah, Russians fired shells made in 1964. One of them was sent out from Belgorod, and it landed back in Belgorod. It becomes a good Russian shell tradition. You shoot it up, it comes back down. Thank you, Jilly. Hi. Hi. Hi, Wild Hunt Corsetry. Zelensky, Europe is no place for murderers and those who support them. President Volodymyr Zelensky said in his video address on September 6th that Russian tourism in Europe is unacceptable and called on the EU to implement visa restrictions for Russian citizens. Russia has repeatedly sent killers to Europe under the guise of ordinary tourists, he added. Thank you, Neni Ria. Hi. Oh, wait. Hi, James. Oh, Alaska the Madness. Hi. Expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected. Ukraine's military, Russian forces sustained losses in the south. According to Operational Command South, reported on September 6th that the situation in southern Ukraine remains tense and dynamic. However, Ukraine's military destroyed 5 tanks, 12 MSTA-B and MSTA-S howitzers, 3 Giant B towed guns, 3 units of armored vehicles, and reportedly killed 83 Russian soldiers. Ukraine's forces have also downed a Russian Su-25 fighter jet and Orlan-10 drone. So that is, Ukraine to receive counter battery radar 5 Gepard guns from Germany. Yeah, okay. No. No. Mm-mm. Yeah, exactly. I don't think that Germany is going to give us anything. And also, Ukraine liberates more villages in the south. Ukraine's Southern Operational Command reported on September 6th that several settlements in Kherson Oblast were liberated by the armed forces. Ukraine has also been active in the northeastern Kharkiv Oblast, where heavy fighting was reported. According to unconfirmed Russian reports, Ukraine has made gains near Balaklia, a town 90 kilometers southeast of Kharkiv. Now, this is all that we have for the news from Ukraine today. And what I'm going to say is maybe in an hour or an hour and a half, I'm going to go order some ice cream. I am planning on going to bed today by 1 or 1:30. That is my goal, because tomorrow at 10 a.m. I have an appointment for the vet for Cindy. And I need to be there because Cindy needs it. And so what I wanted to say is I want to watch some more Azov interviews. So what we have been doing in the evening, in the past couple of days, is we have been watching Azov interviews. But I think that what ends up happening is we start watching these interviews on YouTube. I kind of add my own opinions to them and stuff like that. I kind of add my own opinions to them and stuff like that, but it usually always happens like late at night when I'm sort of doing like a talking live and there are 40 people present and not a lot of people get to see it. So what I do want to say, hi Priya. So what I do want to say is I want to say that if you are not doing anything in an hour and a half, please look for my live, and we're gonna all watch the interviews with Azov together. I'm gonna pick out some good ones that I think are very good, and I'm gonna try to find ones that are subtitled. And if they're not subtitled, then I'm gonna do my best to translate it on the go. There is one interview that I really wanted to translate for you, but it's really, really long. It's 45 minutes, and the guy talks a lot, so it's quite impossible to do unless I quite actually go in and like translate the whole thing and put subtitles on top of it. But I will see you guys in an hour and a half, and let's watch interviews. Hi Abdel. Hi Abdel. When I watch the news, I'll see you in an hour and a half when we watch the interviews. Thank you. Bye, Audrey. Have a good evening as well. Alrighty. I'm doing good, but I'm already finishing the news, but I'll be back in an hour and a half if you'd like to come on over and hang out. How do you say bye in Ukrainian? Papa or buvai? Buvai or papa. All right, papa. Buvai.